I am here for the classical theater study abroad in Greece trip.
Well, I'm in Greece to study theater. I mean, at least that's what I'm told.
So I guess I'm in Greece for clarity and for a break.
I heard about the study abroad trip in Greece, and I thought it was so cool because I loved ancient Greece so much that I really wanted to do it. And I took a second to think about what it means for me as an actor to be here in the land where theater began, that is so perfectly built to carry a voice. Like, you stand in the mountains here, and there was one night where a group of students here howled at the moon, and you could hear it everywhere, to the degree that our professor was able to hear it from her room, and they were probably a mile away up on a mountain and you could hear it. The land just carries your voice so much, and to be able to work on the land and with the land and in these amphitheaters that people created to aid an actor and to feel as though you're right there in the action, to get that experience as an actor, I think is really important.
I'm obsessed with Greek tragedy, Greek theater in general. Ancient Greek theater has always been my favorite. And I guess I agreed to do this play is because I knew in some way, I'd realize, or I'd experience, or I'd just dive into something human. And sometimes you just need to remind yourself of what's human and what's natural, what's raw. And this is raw. It's emotion at its purest form.
O Mother, crown my head with victor's wreaths. Rejoice in my royal match. Lead me to my lord. Nay, if thou find me loth at all, thrust me there by force.
Orestes is very much a tortured soul. I mean, he's murdered his mother, so you can imagine. And then on top of that, he's being haunted by these three creatures from mythology known as the Furies, who come and haunt people, and it's like a spiritual punishment. And I don't know if it's just the characters or just the way that I play them, but they always end up slightly mad. So the art kind of is, he's dealing with the fact that he's just murdered his mother. And in the process, he's looking for redemption in any way possible, whether or not it's from the people of Argos, or it's from his uncle, or it's from his friend, or it's from his sister. You know, he's spent 6 days following, murdering his mother, basically vegetated by this act. He doesn't eat, he doesn't sleep, he doesn't do anything, he doesn't bathe, he just writhes on the ground, and his brain is hurting him, it's torturing him, and to invoke that kind of response that you need to play that kind of character, you have to envision it. I mean, anybody can sit there and scream, but to feel that and to sit there on the ground and be in pain is something you just have to put yourself in.
I'm playing Menelaus in Orestes, and the character is the returning king of Sparta. He is returning from the Trojan War that he realistically started because his wife either left or was taken away by Paris, who was a Trojan prince. As an actor, you have to justify everything, and I've spent a lot of time thinking about the character of Menelaus, and it's the first time that I've really gotten to fully analyze a character and fully figure out a character for myself and justify everything and fill in all the gaps with motivation and why a character is led to do the things that they do and why they feel the way they feel. I actually came into this show not wanting to play Menelaus, but then I kind of fell in love with the character, and I decided that I'm so grateful and I'm so happy that I get to play the character.
Some of the characters have traits that I can relate to, and I could take a little bit from everything. So Hermione, the one that I'm playing, she almost has no agency. Things just kind of happen to her. And one particular thing that I relate to her is her situation with her mother. So her mother was taken to Troy, and she didn't know her for 10 years. And then she comes back, and I think there's an expectation when you know that someone is your parent, but you don't know them. So you don't know how to act with them. And that kind of happened with me. So when I was younger, my dad, he enlisted in the Army, and he was deployed for about 6 years maybe. And he'd be gone for 6 months at a time, because that was their rotations, that's how they went. And every 6 months they had a 2-week break. So he'd come back for those 2 weeks, but it was very strange because I knew that was my dad. I knew how I should treat him, I knew I should love him, but I didn't know him. He was a stranger. So I'm kind of happy I got this part because, it's pretty relatable to me. And that's a good thing when you can relate to your character.
Aunt Helen was snatched away by force, they say. She couldn't wait. You killed the finest man in Greece, invented a reason afterwards. I killed him to avenge my child. Other people may believe you. I don't.
My parents often ask me about, well, what are you learning at school? And it's like, I can give you a gist, but the things that I'm learning are so, you can't really, you could articulate them, but it doesn't do a whole lot to most people to articulate the kind of things that you learn in school, in theater school, because the kinds of things you're learning is just learning how to be a human being, which, as odd as that sounds, is so very difficult for so many reasons.
All experiences, theatrical and non-theatrical, add to a person, and the more you have as a person, the more you can apply to acting. So no matter what, the more you experience, theoretically the better you'll be getting as an actor, because the more you'll have to draw from, the more perspective you'll have on things.
An octopus's garden.
I guess you could say the most thing I took away from this play was that it's kind of insane how relatable ancient Greek can be to modern times. And I guess that's still why we put on these plays today, is because they talk about such important things, such relevant things. I think they're human things. They're not worldly things, but they're natural things. And that's why we continuously relate to them. They're about pain, they're about suffering, they're about, manifestations of the mind, of your guilt, of your pride. The root of everything human is personified in Greek tragedy. And I think that's why they have so much credence today.